It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he fires one, but incomplete.
And that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on 3rd down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And taken right on the 30. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4". And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them, because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And to give this time to the tailback. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Do you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. The Bengals bring pressure, and it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Now back to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position.
The Bengals bring pressure, and it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
However form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early byes and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Here we go now.
They'll drop to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. But I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
Ooh, so a little bit of an exhale after that one for the head coach. That looked like a mishit maybe of some sort, but he managed to get it over the bar.
I almost wonder if someone got a finger on it because it was a pretty atypical kick from a guy of his caliber.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now the Bengals defense readies as they head onto the field. And we get a glance at something that they've certainly done well in this game, and that's block kicks.
And they've made it a mission. They've made it part of who they are. It's not just making good tackles, knocking the ball free on defense. It's going after kicks because that creates an advantage for their entire team.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 24 carries, 96 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Looking a little bit like a continuation of last week. He had 3 tackles for a loss, and now 1 more here in the first quarter of this game.
And there's been no lack of force by him, taking on the offensive linemen, playing them, but also there's a suddenness to his game. They have that initial contact, and then he's gone, moving upfield and making those plays in the backfield.
It's a big body moving upfield, too. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. Green 35.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now running right through it. And oh, at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
To throw on third down. Townsend, hard throw, incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And a give this time to the tailback. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Takes this to the 45. Got a little space after that nice move. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
It wasn't 3rd and long. It was more like 3rd and attainable. And oftentimes, offense just want to run enough to pick up a first down. But I think they wanted a break tendency there. Catch the defense playing for the short pass and push it downfield, and they almost collected a big play.
The Steelers send out their punter now. And he's had all kinds of problems just getting punts off so far. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. First down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
And a give this time to the tailback. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, power ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll look to throw here on first down. His throw incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. He'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go!
Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Goodman. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit near the 48-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Back to throw now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a fourth down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, first down. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. So able to break through the initial contact and then down right near the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
All right, here we go.
To throw on second down. Townsend. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game. But when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On first down, Townsend. And an alley to run. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On first and 10, Townsend. And some room to work. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 more on that one and another first down. Throwing on first down, Townsend. And he's got some space here. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be second down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Looking to throw on second down. Townsend. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Operating from the gun, Townsend. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. To throw on second down. Townsend. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. It's their quarterback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And he puts it through. A second quarter score from down in Houston. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Rodriguez. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Bengals are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Steelers didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 1st and 10, defense is going to come away with the sack. This goes for a loss of 4. Bengals have it at the 7. It's going to be a run play here, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone. That takes the lead up to 20. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back now to Paul Brown Stadium for the start of the second half.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give them 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Let's go. Green, 30.
And now here's a carry heading left. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. 3-4 defense, usually here you'll see the linebackers come up, make those plays, but the nose tackle also vital.
That was so vital because what you just pointed out, normally he eats up blockers that allows the linebackers to get to the ball carrier. In this case, he did his job and then some, and there was no gain at all for the runner.
Got some real estate inside the 30, and they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Partner, I know that play didn't work very well, but an old New York Giants quarterback taught me a lesson a long time ago. Sometimes running the draw actually takes courage and play calling. You're actually setting something up for later in the game, and just because it was unsuccessful then doesn't mean it won't be successful later.
Let's go. Green.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Townsend. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Man, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. From the gun, Townsend. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. This one taken from the 7. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about a different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Back to throw here. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Fresh set of downs here. Now they'll run on the draw. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And the Steelers on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here we go.
They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Rodriguez. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Four yards remaining now on second down. They're going to look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
They'll look to throw again. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. They'll try and throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Play clock winding down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Townsend. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Throwing right, and that's complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Garner. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Here we go.
They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Rodriguez. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for him.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Here we go.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's 1st and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal. Second down, the ball on the 2 here, 2nd and goal. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Bengals are going to get the football back. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync. Because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together. And that's what we're seeing right now. Well, it was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Here we go now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Now they try the right side here. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Bengals, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.